Let me move on to Austria, the Spielberg or Red Bull Ring. Dick, why don't you take the lead on that, and then John, make sure to jump in. But here's one thing I've always been confused. Why is it called the Red Bull Ring? Is that normal for teams to have a ring or
Well,
a circuit named after them?
well, Red Bull bought the track. It was
Okay.
originally, and I'll slaughter the name, but it was the Österreich Ring, I think is what it was called. And it was, I think we had talked about this, but it was actually quite a bit longer at one time. And then it actually was a track that was used in the 1970s, and huge elevation changes, all that kind of stuff. There's certainly been shots of like deer standing on the side of the track with F1 cars going by the poor deer, and stuff like that. So then, and I don't know if it's because Lauder retired or whatever, but around that same time, the track did not host an F1 race for quite some time. And then it came back, and it was bought by Red Bull, and the configuration was changed to a large degree. Some of the corners have been retained and all that, but what you have now is this unbelievably picturesque setting in a valley between a couple of mountain ranges. I'm sure it was the Alps probably, and it's an amazing setting. A buddy of mine went there last year. He took his family. He lives here in Dallas and went there, and he said you just cannot believe how spectacular the place is, and loved every minute of it. And of course, they had perfect weather and all that kind of good stuff. But that's a track that's actually produced some surprise results. I think that it's a track that rewards a good driver more so than some of the other tracks out there.
John, you want to add in anything?
Yeah, a couple of things. It's a very technical track, and so it does reward those drivers who are superb technicians. And just one bit on the change from the Österreich Ring to the A1 and then laterly Red Bull. In '87, they had to start the race restart it twice because it has a very narrow pit lane entrance, and so the track, and we were in those days, we were in the high horsepower turbo cars, 1100 horsepower, and I think the average speed for the race that year was 160 miles an hour or something like that for average speed. So it was just deemed too dangerous, and that's when they shut it down. And until the A1 ring, they refurbished it, and then the Red Bull ring has come along after that. I've never been there. I've been by it, but my understanding, Dick, you may know about this, is that there's a museum there that Dietrich Mateschitz established, the Red Bull Museum, and there's all kinds of really, really interesting stuff there.